Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of a transplant on this little Pinguicula that I got from Brad's greenhouse. Do you remember this one? I hope so, it was only the other day. My glasses are just outside, so my glasses are a little bit dark. They'll get lighter. So this one is the Pinguicula ehlersiae. I hope I'm getting that right. And it's that mini little guy. That's so cute. So anyway, he's in this little container. Let me show you what he looks like. It's been a couple of days, and he's starting to perk up. He's got little leaves that are pointing upwards, maybe because I put him under some light. So yeah. So what I'm going to use for a pot, I've already got everything prepared because I'm using. Before I show you that, I'm using regular peat moss with no additives, just peat moss. And I'm also using some New Zealand sphagnum moss. So a very, very small amount of everything. I had these cute little pots. I think that they used to be for candles, little citronella candles. The only problem is there's no drainage holes in the bottom. So usually that's not a great thing. But because it's terracotta, it means that I can sit it in a little tray of water and it will slowly suck it up. So it'll turn into kind of a self-watering pot, where it's not gonna bring in too much moisture and it's not going to oversaturate. But if I do want to give it more water, say in the summertime, I can water it in the pot itself. So I put some sphagnum moss down in the bottom, and then I put some peat moss at the top. And the reason why I did this a couple of days ago and let it sit is because my peat moss is so dry, and I don't know whether you know, but when peat moss is dry, it's so hard to get it to be rehydrated. It just floats, and it's best to use warm water, or even hot water, but then you don't want to use it right away on your plants. You need to let it cool down to room temperature again, but the warm water actually helps it hydrate a little bit better. So yeah, and just remember, keep in mind that with any carnivorous plants, you want to use regular water. You want to use, if you can get it, distilled water or reverse osmosis water. You want to have something that has little to no dissolved solids. So if you're growing carnivorous plants, you probably have a TDS meter. Really, really simple to get. They're relatively inexpensive if you don't have one. You want to measure your water for total dissolved solids, because anything over 160 parts per million is actually can be harmful to your plants. They don't want to have nutrients. So if you can use reverse osmosis or distilled water for your carnivores, then that's the best thing to use. So my tap water is not terrible. I believe it's below 160, so I generally use tap water, but I also have the zero filter. I've showed you in the past in a video or two, where it's kind of like a Brita filter, which everybody's familiar with, but it's a zero filter, and it actually comes with a TDS meter. You want to change that particular filter after the water reads 0.06. So that's amazing how it takes out so much crap from your water. So on average, your home water is probably 150 to 200 parts per million of whatever stuff. There might be fluoride in there, there might be chlorine in there, there might be all kinds of other things. So your carnivorous plants actually don't like that. Also, you might notice things like spider plants, they'll get a brown edge on their leaf. Many times that's because of chlorine. So yeah, just using distilled water, reverse osmosis water, or well-filtered water should help you out with that sort of thing. So anyway, I've got it sitting in, let's go down to this camera. I've got it sitting in a little tray of water, and that's just going to keep it moist. So what I'm going to do, this little guy, as you know, we tipped it over. I gave it a little bit of water when I got it, because I noticed the paper towel was a little bit dry. But you'll notice that the little root ball, it has a little root ball, so I want to make sure that has a little indent to go into. So I'm going to, these guys, I think I said it in the video originally, they have very shallow root systems, so you want to try to give it as good of contact as you can. And I put a little divot down there, and I'm just going to kind of give it a little push. I'm going to bring in some some soil, some peat moss in from the sides. I just want to make sure that he has good contact, but being very gentle. I don't want to damage him. And there we go. So that's the little Pinguicula. Let's put this little tag here too. Perfect. It's like it was meant to be. So since this guy's going to stay small, I think that this would be a perfect little pot for it. A very, very quick video, mostly just rambling. I apologize. But that's what I'm going to leave the little guy in. Look at it, he's so small. Now, you probably looked at the size of the pot and said, oh, that's tiny, that's too small. But when you look at the size of the plant, it's kind of perfect. I could have drilled a hole in the bottom, but why? Why? For this guy, if it's a little bit too wet, it's not going to worry me. But like I said, I'm just going to keep a little bit of water in this little tray and just have him sit there, and the terracotta will naturally wick the water up. So anyway, I'll keep you posted on how this grows, and show me what you're growing. Let me know if you purchased anything from Brad's greenhouses or just carnivorous plants in general. I really enjoy Pinguiculas. Super, super cute, and fun and easy to grow, and they're really good. Like I said in the other video, they're really good to have in your plant collection because as you probably know, you get those little black fungus gnats that fly around in the wintertime. These guys capture them. So yeah, they're a workhorse, and they're really, really cute, and the flowers are pretty too. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.